we'll get some background on the project and the leaders, and get more of the backstory, and then we'll have the time for questions. And nice today, we have some other folks from there in Africa that have been able to join. So Rotundo, I see, is out there. Obviously, Armand. So why don't you go ahead and lead us off, Roman?
Sure. So Bitcoin Loxion is one of the grants winner on the past Bitcoin Beach grants that we did with Geyser and the Bitcoin Circular Economy Federation. And as Paco was saying, every Tuesday we have a new space with a new Bitcoin Circular Economy, and we're excited today to have Bitcoin Loxion. So, to Lisa, why you don't give us an overview? What is Bitcoin Loxion and how you started creating this Bitcoin Circular Economy, this Bitcoin project in South Africa?
Okay. First of all, Bitcoin Loxion started this year, right after Bitcoin adoption that was happening in Cape Town in January. And after the conference, we took a drive from Cape Town to Mossel Bay, where we got to see and experience what Bitcoinicus is doing over there. And that inspired me and also gave me a motivation to come here and implement the same things that they are doing in Mossel Bay here in Khayelitsha. We are doing weekly meetups every Thursdays. We also have like sessions where we are doing classes. We recently finished my first Bitcoin, which were assisted by Bitcoin Ubuntu. We also have onboarded few shops here in Khayelitsha, where those shops, they do accept Bitcoin payments. We also have a garden where everyone who's working at the garden is earning their stipends in Bitcoin. So we are building slowly but surely, and we are trying to make sure that everyone knows and understands what Bitcoin is. To go a bit more further, the reason, except for being inspired by Bitcoinicus, the other reason I came up with this thing to start in Khayelitsha, it was because I've seen people going through a lot, being told a lot of things, and they didn't have much information, much education. So I knew that there's something that we needed to do as a Bitcoin community in Khayelitsha, so that people can know and understand and receive the correct information regarding Bitcoin. Yeah.
I'm curious as to, can you tell us what's the significance of the name of the project?
So Loxion is called, it's more like location. It's also, it means the same thing as Ekasi, it means the same thing as my home. Loxion means a lot of things to different people. For me, Loxion means my place, my community, my society. That's what it means to me. But to everyone else, it's also like Ekasi, it's the same thing. Hence, we are more looking up to what Bitcoin Ekasi is doing in order for us to be able to do the same thing here in Khayelitsha. So it's more like that.
And what was kind of the process that you went through to start the project? Was there something already ongoing with the garden aspect of it that you spoke about, or was there already a community group or organization there? Or was this something that you started from scratch? And then how receptive have people been to the Bitcoin component?
It was started from scratch. When we started Bitcoin Loxion in the garden, was also started from there. I was thinking of ways of, because the vision is building a circular economy, and you can't just stand in the corner and start giving people Bitcoin. So instead of people buying Bitcoin, I thought it would be much more easier, or much more safer for people to work and earn Bitcoin. So we started the garden in order for us to be able to pay people with Bitcoin so that they can also assist us in building the circular economy within Kailage. And when it started, I'm not gonna lie, we had a lots of difficulties and ups and downs. But each and every day, I feel like it's a learning curve in terms of the garden. And each and every day there's something new, but the vision is bigger than everything else. The vision is making sure that the whole Kailicha knows and understand what Bitcoin is and what Bitcoin stands for, regardless of the obstacles and everything that is happening. I believe that doing these things this way, it might help someone or some people in order for them to be able to meet their ends meet, at the same time to be able to use Bitcoin as their store of value.
And you said there was a number of issues. Was that specifically around people understanding Bitcoin and using Bitcoin, or was it more on the gardening aspect, or what kind of challenges did you guys face, or are still continuing to work through?
Okay. When we started Bitcoin Loxion, people, they've already had different experiences of Bitcoin, whereby there was a guy, possibly I'm not mention names, people, they would meet people and be like, hey, give me your 500 rands, for example, and I will buy you Bitcoin. And then most of people got scammed through that. And now they didn't trust anything that has to do with Bitcoin. So we had to go back and rebuild and make people understand exactly that sometimes you just need education in order for you to be able to not get scammed anymore. I believe that once you have a knowledge of something, you can never go wrong with anything that you're going to implement with the education that you got. And it was around that. And when we started building the shack, because we have a shack here in Kailij, when we started building the shack, when we wrote outside Bitcoin Loxion, yeah, there was a lot of noise, and the noise was not positive noise, but each and every day when you meet one person and you explain to one person and you give them your time to explain thoroughly what Bitcoin is, what Bitcoin stands for, it's easier for the next person to come the day and be like, hey, you told Herman that Bitcoin is this and this, can you please explain it to me as well? I want to understand better. So it was those kind of obstacles. And with the garden, there was a lot with the garden. When we started the garden, there were lots of ups and downs. When we started cleaning the place to do the garden, people put in tires and started painting the place, all because of not understanding the vision behind what we're doing. But each and every day, as I said, we are pulling through and making sure that people do understand why we are doing this thing and why we are so patient in people understanding that Bitcoin, it is a better money, and we all need to understand that one day all of this thing, Bitcoin might be a solution in every situation that we are facing right now.
So, so what would you say helps you break through to the people? Have you found something specific that helps them understand what your guys' goal is and why Bitcoin is better money? Is it just simply a matter of spending a lot of time with them, or is there certain ways that you can help them kind of think about Bitcoin and help them kind of have that breakthrough?
I'd like to believe that each and every person has their own strategy on how to make sure that people listen. For me, when we started, because we didn't just start with my first Bitcoin classes, when we started with Trezor, it's kind of crazy. When we started with Trezor Academy, when we were doing the Trezor lessons, we started hosting braais where we invited most of people to come in. And that was an opportunity for me and the people who understood Bitcoin to explain and give the person one-on-one conversation so that you can explain thoroughly to them. And then once we were able to do that, and now 5 or 10 people understood, it was more like a word of mouth. When I tell Glenn what Bitcoin is, they get to the car wash and they start speaking about Bitcoin, even though the person who's going to give them the information is not going to be accurate 100%, but it gives them that thing of, I want to know what's going on. Hence, we started finding people coming in the shack, knocking, trying to understand, and starting asking questions. I'm not gonna lie and say everyone is aware, but I think it's a journey where each and every day, if you meet 2 or 3 people, for me, it is a success because now it means that Bitcoin education is getting out there and people are starting to open their eyes and understand what Bitcoin stands for as well.
Can you give us a little bit of your background? And I think will be really important for people to understanding your background and I know we hear that you get inspired by Bitcoin and Kasi, but what made you thinking and want to create this Bitcoin circular economy in this township in South Africa?
Okay, I see Bitcoin is in this way. If you say big background, you mean my Bitcoin background, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I
For me,
think too, just your general background too, like that are you from this community? You know, is this why specifically in this area have you chosen to work? And just for us to understand a little bit more of who you are, and then how Bitcoin came into your, to play with that.
okay. So I was born and raised in Cape Town in Khayelitsha, and I spent my whole entire life in this community. I wouldn't say I'm popular, but few people know me, and I've had few relationships with people because I used to play soccer before my my olden days, and so people knew me from there. And when we started opening the shack, it was easier for me to approach people because they're already familiar with me. They already know me because I grew up in the community. I'm not sure if you answered that correctly.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And then to understand, at what point you were exposed to Bitcoin and why you saw that as, something that would benefit the community. Was it just from what was happening in Akasi, or just kind of understand that interplay?
Um, I first heard Bitcoin through a friend, and I'm not gonna lie, the friend didn't give me the correct information. They just told me that, not saying that they didn't give me correct information, but they were like, "Hey, download this, and then you can download this app, and then you can always go to Pick and Pay and buy with Bitcoin." And I've always been skeptical because of the things that I've heard and seen that were happening in my community. But when this person started introducing me to 21 pages, Bitcoin in 21 pages, I read through that, I understood. That's when things started changing for me and opening. It gave me an eye opener. And the way I see it, I see Bitcoin, for me, as Utulisa, I see Bitcoin as a revolution whereby I am making and I'm speaking my truth, because I don't think that it's fair if I can wake up each and every day and work like 12 hours a day and still find people taking things that do not belong to them. So I believe when I understood Bitcoin better, I saw that I got my power back in terms of my hard earnings. Yeah.
That's nice. Can you give us a little bit of the idea, the dream, the plan, the goals in a short, medium, and long-term goals that you have, the dream, what are the things that you're working on now? What are the things that you want to accomplish in the medium term and long term goals
Okay.
with the project?
With the Bitcoin project, the vision is quite big because if I can start from the garden, when I look at the garden and the guys who are working at the garden, they're earning in sets, it means that they can always go to the nearest shops that we've onboarded and can purchase whatever that they need. That gives people, a lot of people, an opportunity to employment. It's not a full-time it's not a lot it's not a lot, but it's something that it can help people, maybe a week or two. And for me, when I look at the garden and I look at the space that we have, it is the more we grow into the garden, the more people can come and start earning and making sure they can meet their ends meet as well each and every day. Because if you look at the crime rate in Kailicha, and when you ask the people why there's such things, they will tell you there's no employment, there's not enough jobs, there's this and that. So I thought to myself, if there's something to do each and every day, maybe that could help people to reduce the crime rate. I'm not saying that I'm a superhero, I'm going to change everything, but I'm saying the little that I can do in terms of Bitcoin, with Bitcoin in it, then that can also, if Bitcoin can change one or two people's lives, for me that's okay. And the vision is just making sure that Bitcoin education gets to the whole Kailicha. People get, but the vision is that people get the correct and the right information about Bitcoin, and so that they can be able as well to teach their kids and their grandkids, and give people and their and their grandkids power back to their on their hands. And if I can go back to the shack, I think that if we could have a bigger space or a community center whereby people can always come and learn more about Bitcoin and ask more questions about Bitcoin and understanding what Bitcoin is and what Bitcoin stands for me, that would be everything. Because education at this point in my society or in my community is everything.
I'm curious as to what you would say would be some of the similarities and some of the differences between. We know that each Bitcoin circular economy is unique and meets kind of unique needs in that community. So compared to what you see happening with Bitcoin Akasi, what are some of the things you've replicated, and then what are some of the things you've done differently? Obviously, the garden is a unique aspect of what you guys are doing, and I love that. I love that fact that they're encouraging people to grow food there in the community. But just be curious to what you see as the differences and some similarities.
In, I'm gonna dwell more on the similarities. I think I am just, to be honest, I'm just copying and pasting whatever that they are doing, because if they've done this since 2021 and they're still continuing to doing it and it's working for them, then why not use the same strategy that they have? So we have painted few shacks. We've painted Bitcoin Ubuntu. We've painted Bitcoin Legacy. We've painted Blink. We also have Bitcoin Loxion logos on one of the shacks in Kailicha, whereby each and every household owner gets to earn 7,000 sets each and every after 2 weeks. And we've took that from Bitcoin Legacy. When I saw the shacks at Ekasi this year, when I went there, I was like, this is really beautiful. And it also gives people an opportunity to be able to earn Bitcoin and have that feel of having their power back, because I believe that Bitcoin gives people power over everything. And the other thing we took from them that I'm still trying to implement even more, it's the education, teaching the young kids so that when they grow up, they grow up knowing and aware of what's going on and what's happening within the big Bitcoin within Bitcoin. And I believe that once you start teaching a 10-year-old and a 9-year-old about Bitcoin, by the time they get to the age of 15, they are able to meet their peers in high school, they're able to meet their peers at school, and they get to share that kind of information during break time, during school time. For me, that is the biggest thing, because I believe that the more younger kids that we have in the shack and learning about Bitcoin, it's more working, because they're able to meet other kids at school from different communities, and they're able to share the knowledge and the education that they got from Bitcoin Loxion.
Amazing, amazing. And for everyone just that is connecting now, we're having the Twitter space that we have every Tuesday with the new Bitcoin circular economy. And today we're learning everything about Bitcoin Loxion, building. They're building a Bitcoin circular economy in a township in South Africa, and it's super amazing to hear what you guys are doing there. And we have here Herman from Bitcoin Akasi. How do you feel, Herman, to see this new project getting inspired by you guys? What that means for you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, man. It's super cool to hear that that there's other projects picking up the ball and running with it in South Africa in similar settings to what we're operating in. And this is one of the things that I really would like to do as much as possible to support, because ultimately that's what we want to see. We want to see circular economies emerging in several different locations. So it's really cool to see. It's sort of heartwarming to hear that the conference that we helped to organize in Cape Town played a big role in sort of kickstarting this project, because that's precisely why we wanted to do that conference, to encourage further adoption. So yeah, it just makes me really happy to hear the story. And obviously I've been following them very closely, watching what they've been doing, and it's just incredibly cool to see. I love watching the project evolve and grow. And I personally have not been there, but Lutando took our Bitcoin Land Cruiser and went to visit the project. So we have sent some of our team to go and visit Bitcoin Loxion, and we'll definitely go again. It's not too far from where we are. And yeah, it's just really, really cool to see. I want to just make sure that they understand that we are there to support them, and really want to see them keep building.
Latando, can you share with us a little bit about what you experienced there? I'm just curious if you saw anything that you saw that they were doing and thought, oh, we should be doing this in Akasi.
Hello, everyone. Yeah. Going to Kailicha was a bad experience for me. I never been in Kailicha. I just passed in Kailicha, but going to Bitcoin Loxion, I did experience the life of Kailicha, and there's a lot of poverty there, and many people they are struggling a lot. So Tulisa, by opening the Bitcoin Loxion project in Kailicha, it seemed like it's a great idea, because like I was scared going to Kailisha because I know how dangerous Kailisha is. I just hear about people that Kailisha is very dangerous, and I did got a chance to go in Kailisha, but I was very scared to go there. And even the team, Herman did organize me some toy, like a paper spray gun, just to be safe in Kailisha. But I did risk about myself, like to go Kailisha was very risk, and many people they saw the Bitcoin Land Cruiser, and they were starting believing that Tulisa is doing something like legit. They contract, and also people they say like, okay, Tulisa, now you are putting us on the map, and many people they were so happy to see the big contract and meeting many people, and we did able to paint our logo in Kailisha, and it was very cool. I did experience a trade experience, and I was there just to help Tulisa, and also to show Tulisa how the strategies he have to use to onboard the shops. But I was there to just to verify. Like when I'm here, I was not trust, but I did go to Kalicha just to verify.
Awesome. Well, I know we have a number of other people from other circular Bitcoin economies. So I would, if you guys have any questions or just want to voice your support, would love to hear from some of you guys.
Fernando, you have any question? You wanna support with a good word of support for Bitcoin Loxion?
Can I say something? Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Um, maybe I don't say this a lot. Khayelitsha is known for a lot of things. It's known for its own high crime rate. I agree with Lotando. It's known for its own poverty and stuff like that. But I would like to believe that there are also beautiful things that are happening in Khayelitsha. And Khadija, I would like to believe it has its own room to expand and be a better place. And when I look at Bitcoin and I look at the Bitcoin community and I look at how Bitcoin Legacy is, I believe that the little impact that we are pushing within the community, Khadija can be better again. It's just that sometimes people they believe that seeing is believing, and I'd like to say that the more people, the more people starting to see how Bitcoin is, what Bitcoin stands for, and how Bitcoin community is, it would be much more easier for people to trust again in Bitcoin. I'm not sure but yeah, that's what I wanted to put out there.
No, I love that. That is perfect. When we can sense that, we can hear that in your voice, that hope you have for your community there. So definitely love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Herman?
Yeah, I just wanted to when Talisa was speaking now, it made me think of something. I think one of the things that's worth pointing out is there's one very very obvious difference between the locations that Bitcoin Ekasi and Bitcoin Loxion operates in, and that is the fact that the township where we started our project is way 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 smaller than Khayelitsha. Khayelitsha is a massive sprawling township outside Cape Town, and I think that adds quite a lot to the challenge. I certainly feel like it would have been more difficult to start what we did in a bigger township. But then again, it also provides a much bigger opportunity. And I think one of the things that I'm incredibly excited about is the fact that it is located so close to Cape Town and that it is so much bigger, and that the scope for impact is so much bigger. There really is a massive scope for impact. I kind of sometimes feel a little envious because it's so much easier to convince people to come to visit Cape Town as opposed to Mossel Bay, which is a little bit off the edge of the map. So I'm quite excited to see what happens there, and definitely will be keeping a close eye and following it very closely. Very very excited for the future.
What what are before we go to Lutando, how many people live in this township? What is the difference between the township Herman where Bitcoin Legacy have the project and Kaulita? How you pronounce Kaulisa? Kaulisa?
So I think Tulisa should correct me if I'm wrong, but I know, and obviously I'm a little bit more familiar with where we are in Mossel Bay, but the township where we operate, it's no more than 20,000 people, and that little small part of the township in which we operate is probably no more than about 10,000. So it really is quite a small community, and obviously there are different communities within Khayelitsha, but I think the overall population of Khayelitsha is way 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 bigger than that. But Lisa would know better.
Yeah, I think Khayelitsha would multiply most of the 3 times because it's 200,000 people living within the community of only in Khayelitsha, because there are a lot of shacks, there are different townships within Khayelitsha, and it comes back to what I've been thinking of, Herman, lately. On even though we are located, Bitcoin Loxion is located in Makaza, and we are trying to spread the education within Khayelitsha. And if you are coming from N2 and you get to see New Way there, I was thinking, how about how about I start trying to put up some banner that Bitcoin is education over there, so that everyone who's coming from college and going out of college get to see that, and they start growing some questions within their heads and start asking more important questions about Bitcoin. But that was just my thought of it. Yeah, but college is really big.
And also, like I did forget to mention that, like we did put on board a coffee shop with Tulisa while I was in Kairicha. And also like his way by Tulisa, like he did like the guy, like he did mention that he is scared to go to the guy like having a coffee shop. So the guy is too serious, like maybe he's gonna be fine when I go with him. Like the guy was shocked also like to see the Bitcoin cruiser. Like he was very shocked. But he didn't give us hard time when he see the car that, oh wow, this car is very beautiful. So I wish also to Lisa he can have his own transport to go around Kailisha, because Kailisha is too big to just use a public transport. Maybe if you can help Bitcoin Loxion to have their own transport with branded like Bitcoin Land Cruiser, a Cassie Cruiser, that would be cool.
And the guy keeps on asking about the crew. He keeps on asking.
He keep asking. Yeah, he was very shocked, to see that car with the horns.
Nice. Fernando, how do you feel to see all these projects you're leading? You're building a Bitcoin super economy in Brazil and Yericocara. Me and Mai, we cannot pronounce. I think we will never gonna be able to pronounce the name really well. But you have been helping other Bitcoin super economies too. So, what's your what you can share here with Bitcoin Loxion?
Fernando, are you there? If you are, you're on mute.
Yeah. If Fernando is not here, we can move to Bitcoin Ubuntu. How you doing?
Hi. Thanks very much. Very well. Thanks for having me up. This is Glenn from Bitcoin Ubuntu, and I just wanted to really commend Talisa on the work that she's doing there. I know she's already faced some challenges, but she's tenacious. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you through all of the challenges that there have been between the weather and the pushback from community and everything that you've had there, Talisa. You've really done yourself proud in not giving up. And I hope we'll have further occasions to work together some more in the future. I had a quick look here at the last census figures for Khayelitsha back in 2011. There were almost 400,000 people. So it's anyone's guess what there might be today. I would imagine that easily have doubled by now. So probably close to 1 million, if not over 1 million people in Khayelitsha. So super excited to see a project like this be launched there. Is Fernando back maybe?
Wow, amazing. We have also Bitcoin Anambra. How you doing?
Yeah, good evening, guys. It's past 9 p.m. here. I'm Kester, and I'm the project lead of Bitcoin Anambra. So we are one of the people that won the grant by Bitcoin Beach, and we're officially saying thank you. And we've been doing some proof of work lately. On Sunday, which is the day before yesterday, we held our first meetup, our first business hangout, and the number was crazy. And from there, we got like 5 businesses on the spot that reached out to us on how they can start accepting Bitcoin as payment. So this week, we'll be going to their shops to onboard them. So I just want to give that update and tell you guys that you're doing a wonderful job.
I wonder if I could just jump back in there because I wanted to ask one other thing there. I haven't been to visit the project in Loxion yet, but I'm really excited to. A little bit nervous, like Lutando says, it's not known for being the safest place in the world. But I gather that it's safe enough. If we come and see you, Talisa, I've got an Uber driver there that's a Bitcoiner, and hopefully he'll be able to bring me in, and you can meet us somewhere and show us around.
I will gladly do that, and I can say when you are around me, you are safe. If I'm here,
You only need to say the magic word, Tulisa.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I hope to see you guys soon.
Well, I would love to hear, Lisa, how you guys, like, what type of ongoing support you guys need and are looking for, what you found is helpful from coming in from other projects, what things we can be, kind of pushing people in the broader community, Bitcoin community towards, that they can know about what you guys have going on. Yeah, just generally how we can be helped.
So as Lutano mentioned, from the distance from where I stay to the shack, it's quite far. And the distance I walk from the shack to the garden, it's also far with with the tools and everything that we're holding. Because when you go to the garden, you need to have all tools to work at the garden. So I think having a vehicle that is branded with Bitcoin, Loxion, and being able to be visible to people, I think that would be like a great assistance within Bitcoin Loxion. And when I look at the vision of Bitcoin Loxion, as I said before, we are just copying and pasting whatever Bitcoinicus is doing at this point. And I think if we could have our own space and build Bitcoin Loxion Community Center where people can be able to get Wi-Fi access and Google more and learn more about Bitcoin, um, um, things like books, hard copy books, whereby people can read about Bitcoin. Because I think the only books that we have, they are like 10, and if you, it's more like a recycling. When you are done reading the book, you have to bring it back to the center. And I wish that people can like be able not to share per se, but be able to, anytime when they want to get information about Bitcoin, they can get it. So I think a center would be a great, like a way forward for us to be able to host like more than 300 people, more than 400 people, because the shack that we have, it can only host up to 50 people, not even 50, let's say 20, because it's not that big. So if we can have a spot or a place whereby we can be able to host more than 200 people when it comes to having Bitcoin meetups, Bitcoin education, and also if people they are interested after any adoption Bitcoin and they want to come to Kalisha so that they can have a space whereby they can just sit down and be able to have a civil conversation, I think that would be the greatest thing ever.
Well, do we want to do? We've got we're about 45 minutes in. We usually try to keep it under an hour, but we have time for some questions. So if there's people in the audience that have some specific additional questions, go ahead, Erman. Why don't you start us off, and then if anybody else, just put your hand up.
I've got a quick question. I just wanted to find out how many shacks have they painted. I know of 3. I think they painted, the most recent one was the Blink wallet, and then I know they did their own logo on one of the shacks, and then they did a Bitcoin Ikasi logo and maybe a Machankura one as well. I'm not sure, but just wanted to check with Tulisa how many shacks have they painted now.
So far, we've only painted 4. We've got 2 more to go. We recent today we did Bitcoin Ubuntu 1, and Sunday we were doing Blink, and then on during the week we're also gonna do Machankura. We're also gonna do Trezor. But if there's someone interested and they would like their logos to be put it up in Kailicha, and yeah, I would gladly do so.
How's works? What's the someone want to put their logos there? What's the process? Is there any? Can you explain us a little bit about that?
So we if you would like, in terms of with if you would like to put your logo or your circular economy logo in Kailicha, you just have to understand that we are strictly giving back to the people who are allowing us to paint their shacks. And as I said, we're just implementing the same thing that ECAS is doing. Each and every after 2 weeks, we make sure that the shack owner gets to receive 7,000 sets, and so that they can be able to also meet to get their to make their ends meet as well. But that is done via Bitcoin Loxion, so that we can be able to go to each and every houses and be able to pay them in Bitcoin. Yeah.
And then they'll be able to spend that Bitcoin at the community gardens, buying probably price subsidize the vegetables, right? The extra veg that you guys produce.
Yes.
Nice.
I can just maybe add something there. I think the shack painting thing it's a fantastic way to get small amounts of sats flowing on a regular basis, because I mean that's one of the key that's one of the key challenges that you have to solve in in building the circular economy is, yeah, you got to onboard the shops, but then you got to solve the spending side of the equation too. So who's going to be spending the sats, and doing the painted shacks, it's a great way to get sats flowing. In our case, what we found works best is we don't actually sell it as a marketing type of thing. We would paint the logos of organizations and wallets and things that we use ourselves in the project. And it's not necessarily something that companies come in and pay for. So it's not a marketing exercise per se. We found that if we do it that way, then it just gives the whole thing a little bit more integrity, because we don't want to start selling wall space on people's homes as a marketing type thing. Although some of the companies whose logos we have ended up painting have definitely been very, very supportive of the project, but it's sort of like we would have, I think, we chose which logos to paint. It's not like companies have been approaching us. We kind of like singled out the projects that we found useful in building out the project, and those are the logos that we selected to paint. And then if there was some support forthcoming, that would happen afterwards.
And the families receive like a type of rental every month on SAT. Is that correct?
Yeah. So in our case, we pay 7,000 sats per week. It's enough to buy, bread and milk and a few basic grocery items. I think Bitcoin Loxion does. I think Tulisa said 7,000 sats every second week. So it's not a massive amount of money, and but it's enough to buy something useful on a weekly basis. And in our case, the condition that the families who live in those shacks, the condition that they receive those sats under is that they don't convert that to fiat. They have to spend it as sats or save it.
Love it. A question. How many shitcoin have been coming to Lisa to, and also for you, Herman, to asking you to paint their logo in one of those?
Yeah, many, many, but we say no.
So far for me, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been approached by anyone. Whichever logo that we put it out there, it's people that we know and we've had a relationship with. So I'm not gonna lie, we haven't. Yeah.
Nice.
I could also I just also want to clarify, we have also been approached by companies that want to advertise completely unrelated things, and not necessarily shitcoins as such, but just like unrelated things, and then it kind of just have to reiterate the fact that it's not really a marketing exercise as such. But yeah, there has been a few people, but it's not an advertising exercise, so it's just a very polite no whenever that request comes through.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And thanks for clarifying this point. We have here Andrew. Andrew, how you doing, brother?
What's up, everybody? Another great space. I'm driving, so I'm gonna be safe as possible and short and sweet. I just wanted to say thank you. I hadn't heard a ton about the Bitcoin Loxion project, but it was great to hear. I'm really excited. I've been learning how to garden myself and trying to do some growing of vegetables. I love how you are taking the Ikasi framework and then adapting it. That is so cool. I would love to see more and more, and to see more promotion. I think that the gardening idea is just so aligned to low time preference, growth, and health, and longevity and hope. And so, yeah, thank you guys for this, sharing this cool idea and what you're doing. And yeah, shout out, thank you, Bitcoin Beach, Mike, Roman, and team, and Paco. This space, this weekly space is keeps it going, right? Among all of the, even within Bitcoin, price talk and all this, drama or whatever, this space is a place to come to, to bring it back to the center of why we're doing this and what's really important. So, thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. And for who doesn't know, Andrew is one of the person that have been involved with Bitcoin Circle Economy since the beginning. Andrew was one of our bigger cheerleader, if I can say it in this way, for Bitcoin Beach, and supporting us and helping us and encourage us. So thank you very much for all your support since the beginning. Also, Andrew and Herman, Fernando, Scott, Mike, myself, we have been involved also with the federation of the Bitcoin Circle Economies. Scott is who is leading the federation, but we all have been, getting together, trying to find ways to support more Bitcoin Circle Economies. And I think Andrew is like, even if Andrew is working full time with the company, he always finds time for Bitcoin Circle Economy. So that's amazing. And thank you, Andrew, for everything, for all your support.
Thank you. Yeah, my heart is in the grassroots adoption. It's really why I do this. Just in general, I think that this is why Bitcoin is world changing. And so, and the funny thing, the funny side note to all of this is that I'm living in the States. I founded a meetup 2 years ago, and I haven't gotten one merchant to accept Bitcoin in where I live. So I'm a poser here. I just I'm here learning from you all how to do things, and cheerleading, like you said, Roman. You guys are showing me the way, so I really appreciate. I'm a student.
We will send Lutando to help you with that, because
Please.
definitely it's better.
We're gonna do it. Rhode Island Bitcoin meetup. I've been saying now for maybe, I don't know, 8 months. We're gonna have some big event, but we want to do it like a small, big event, small conference. I don't know. We want to do something in the future to help make Rhode Island a Bitcoin friendly state up here. And we'll have to invite some of you all to educate the folks here and what Bitcoin means and why it's important to pay attention to.
Amazing. Mike, we have 5 minutes to go. So, what do you want to do?
I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. I just want to, we just invite everybody to make sure that they're following the project, that they, send them sats to be able to support them. We'll have to look into, if we can longer term try to raise funds for, some Bitcoin Neta for Bitcoin Loxion. And that's obviously a bigger ask, but in the meantime, just to be able to support their ongoing projects, I'm not sure. Do you guys have a geyser campaign at all, or how can people give to the project?
We do not have anything yet. We're just using Blink right now as a tool whereby if anyone wants to assist us with anything, they can always use Blink. But besides that, we don't have anything else.
So it might be good to set up a geyser fund, and
Yeah.
there's lots of the other projects here that can help you with that if it's if you need it. I think it's a pretty simple, straightforward process, but
Okay.
that way people kind of know and they can kind of track the donations you guys are receiving. But would definitely encourage you guys to support this project. And then obviously follow them on Twitter. And yeah, do you want to? Is there anything else that we missed that you want to make sure that we know about the project?
No, for me, I just wanted to say, thank you very much to everyone who has been, the support structure and giving me encouragement of keep on doing the same thing doing everything that I'm trying to do in Kailija. Thank you very much to Herman, to Soweto BTC, Bitcoin Ubuntu, Lutando, Akona. I really appreciate, guys, your support. It doesn't go unseen. Thank you very much. To you, Bitcoin Beach, as well. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
No,
Well,
amazing. And to Lisa, let's connect in the next few weeks. There are a few conferences happening in El Salvador. Also, that will be nice to have you in one of those.
Okay.
awesome.
Can I quickly do a quick shout out to anyone if they would like to learn more about Bitcoin Loxion or learn more about this project? To Lisa and several people from the project will definitely be at the Cape Town conference early next year. So if you want to come and meet Lisa and find out and learn more about the project firsthand, then you can do that at the conference. We're going to try and get as many people from their project to the conference as possible, and it should be quite easy because they're really close by.
What dates, Herman? Can you say the dates? Like these people
24, 25 January 2025.
Woof.
Woohoo.
Really, really, really close. Amazing. We're gonna try to send Mike there.
I would love to go back. All right,
okay, guys. Yeah, thank you very much. See you next week. And yeah, to Lisa, you're doing an amazing work. Keep going. As everyone say, we're here to support. Feel free to reach out anytime you feel you need it. And see you next week.